Hey, you there. Thank you for watching, and welcome to Force Lines Forever. Today, I have a 3v3 ladder match here on the most amazing Neuroxys map generator. So let's go ahead and introduce our teams and our players. Starting off with Team 1, also known as the Blue Team in the West. Ending with Team 2, also known as the Red Team in the East. Starting off with Team 1, Southern player, then counterclockwise around the lineup we have in Stitch Blue. Team 1's RNA, he is a UEF for this match as a 1753 rated. To his northeast is the Cyber player of Morrow in Royal Blue as a 1409 rated. And last but not least, for Team 1, we have in Amethyst Purple Chicken. I can never say the last part of his name, so he is Chicken for short. He is a Cybern as a 1778 rated player, the highest rated player on Team 1 and the highest rated player overall. So for Team 1 side of the map, they have 2 Cyberns, 1 UEF, no Aeon, no Seraphim for Team 1. Starting off with Team 2, Southern player, they're working our way northward. We have in Orange, Color Orange, Zelby Lykop. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1733 rated. To his north, we have in Chevy Crimson, Mukula. He is a Cybern for this match as a 1400. And last but not least, for Team 2, we have Electrician in Ruby Red as a 1782 rated. Oh, we'll point out that Zelby is the highest rated player on Team 2, which means for Team 2's entire lineup, they have 1 UEF, 2 Cyberns, the exact same lineup as Team 1, which means for the entirety of this map, there are no Aeons and there are no Seraphim. So apologies to those loyal to the Princess and to those who arrived late but love to make grand entrances. Hopefully you will enjoy the game nonetheless. And for the 6 players on the map, let's take a look at that reclaim situation they have going on. Currently sitting at 13,000 mass in reclaim, which means it is a little bit over 2k mass per player. Definitely a lot better than the 0 mass that we saw in yesterday's video. And in terms of the mexes here for Team 1 and Team 2, we'll take a look at the, let's say, southeastern section of the map, kind of cutting it along this diagonal line sort of thing. There is a Trimex position up here right next door to Electrician. Another Trimex on that upper plateau. Another one here. And another one on another upper plateau. Quadmex, Quadmex, and Quadmex. So 3 Quadmexes. So Zelby's going to really be sitting pretty with all of that mass. A couple of mexes in the middle of the map here. And there's a lot of avenues for some attack vectors with land. I mean, just in the middle of the map, we have 1. I'm going to count this one as kind of like a 1.5-ish, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6-ish. We count each of those halves as 1. That is a lot of land variables. There's a tiny bit of water, which in a 6-player game, somebody's going to hide their comm. It's most likely going to be one of the rearguard air slot players. I would presume those would be either RNA for Team 1 or Electrician for Team 2. But to be fair, in a 3v3 ladder, you need everybody on the front line, at least in the beginning, to help deal with the incoming forces from the other side of the map. We have a nice little ghetto gunship online here for Team 1's Chicken, just taking out a couple of some early units for Electrician in the north. We have Chicken, speaking of which, over here on the opposite side is Makula. We don't see any movement from him. He is moving northward, and we do see Zelby moving southward. Team 1, we see Morrow and RNA heading southward. So Team 1's Chicken is going to run into Electrician, while Team 2's player of Makula is pretty much undeterred in terms of a comm v comm action. We might see that shift, but we do see the comm of RNA trying to close the gap with this nice little Hunter and Mole. Hunter actually already at 2-star veterancy, wrapping up a whole 2 hit points a second. And it's not a lot of hit points, but of course that's better than nothing. Engineer does get the reclaim order off. Does he get the Hunter? No, he does not. He takes out the Mole, which is the intel gathering unit. We do see a couple of units now from Zelby running right into the comm of Morrow. Definitely not a good place to run into anybody. The engineer's trying to flee in the face of that Hunter. One engineer will get taken out. The other one will make it out of range, but I wouldn't be surprised if that Hunter tries to close the gap. Once again, there is an interceptor overhead going for a radar system. So again, just trying to make sure that they know where that unit is all the time. T1 bomber overhead. It's going to take out that Hunter quite nicely. Team 1's Chicken has now crossed the demilitarized zone in the middle of the map and has now made its way to the opposite side of the map for Team 2. We do see that a transport laden with a couple of engineers is on board. Team 1 already has a presence and a Team 1 PD online, which means that transport is not going to feel good. At least the engineers on board aren't going to feel good. They're going to drop right in range of that Team 1 autogun. And unfortunately for those engineers, it is a just dropping of not good things. Nope, not good thing. Engineers go, nope, not dealing with that. And then immediately get killed by interceptors. So there was no hope for those guys. I did like the quick second decision making by Electrician. It just wasn't enough to save those units. We do see a couple of units actually on this upper plateau section for RNA denying what I call Team 2's mechs up there. And same thing over here. Team 1's RNA going for the upper plateaus and denying mexes. Of course, I don't think that's going to last the entirety of the match, but 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, getting an extra, in total 12 mass a second can make a difference, especially if we're going for T2 mechs and land facility upgrades. Gun has been started here for Morrow in the middle. I think that's the first upgrade started here of the match. They'll be pushing a little bit further westward, and it does look like those units are starting to eat away at the reinforcements for RNA. Of course, he does have a facility, so he can resupply. It's a lot more annoying for Team 2 to do that. Unfortunately, they're all AA guns, which means it's not really going to be that much longer before that facility is knocked offline. Southeast, kind of a similar setup. A couple of Team 1 bombers overhead trying to just help Team 2 Zelby just take RNA out of the picture here, and it does look like that facility will go down here shortly. There's just too many units online here for Zelby, and it's just not really going to work out. Counter gun online, or coming online, I should say, for Makula in the middle. Electrician's up here to the north, and Chicken has now almost isolated the commander of Electrician. He has nowhere to go besides on the northern edge, unless he wants to run into some T1 units. It's not enough to kill him, but it is enough to annoy him at a minimum, which in this game could mean the difference between life or death. It isn't always, but it is always better than nothing. Gun is now done for Morrow. T2 land is online for Makula, and T2 air also online for Electrician. Team 1 has T2 land and T2 air, so they at least have comparable headquarters. I never thought of what the plural form of headquarters is, because headquarters ends with an S. So is it headquarters is or headquarters I? I have no idea. I am not an English major by any means, and I can barely speak it, and it is my first language. So, couple of some upgrades now started here for Chicken. Going for stealth, surprisingly enough, not going for gun first. He does have a missile launcher online, loading and then firing immediately. Looks like he's going to go for the T2 land headquarters. It's going to be a great grab, and it should one-shot it. Well, yeah, it's weird because it looks like it curves the line. It's not a straight line, which is very weird. Maybe that's just... No, it definitely curves right here. Weird. Do see a large group of units online here now for Team 2's Makula trying to push back Team 1. But at the same time, we have a 2v1 scenario happening here between Zelby and Makula versus Morrow. Morrow has gun, Makula has gun, but Morrow has been just blitzing down that comm. You can see half of his hit points is already gone. And we do see some reinforcements inbound slowly, and Zelby is going to isolate that commander. Units are inbound from the north from their fight with Chicken, and that missile is still loading. I don't know if it's fired as of yet. It has not. A couple of hoplites coming online. And Morrow's like, oh no, this was good for me, and now it is not good for me. Team 1 bombers overhead going to help take out some hit points. Veterancy is definitely needed. I think 1 or 2 more kills will do just enough to give him a little bit more breathing room, but unfortunately it's not enough. There's just too much firepower raining down on him, and that'll be the first kill of the game. Had he gotten it when he was in the mid-yellows, he probably would have been fine, but unfortunately, that is the end of his life. T2 land facility online very far forward. No TMD. There is a nice little engineer. It's actually a Sparky, not even a regular engineer. Has a little nice gun online. Unfortunately, that land headquarters is almost down. If that TMD does not come online soon enough, that is going to be a dead headquarters. Very unfortunate. The TMD should be fine. It's in the green already. The missile hasn't launched again, so not a huge concern there. But at the same time, a huge distraction effort just with that missile alone has given a lot of room for Chicken to operate over here. And again, trying to isolate the commander. from the entirety of Team 2's rest of the everything on that side of the map. It does look like Team 2 has gained the complete eastern side of the map. It is now making their way westward ever so slightly. A couple of units try to run by, but I don't think they'll get much done. Well, I mean, I might speak too soon. They are getting... Oh, okay, there's a couple of rhinos. Never mind. I was going to say, they shouldn't get that far into Team 1's territory. And now we see Chicken with a stealth and gun comm online. Looks like he's going straight for Electrician's base. Well, he's kind of splitting the difference at this point. You know, Electrician is still holding position up here. Has a couple of T1 PD coming online, as well as some extra T2 TMD and PD as well. So he is going to be a little bit tanky up there to the north, and Chicken's going to just completely ignore him. I don't blame him. He's kind of isolating himself up there, and he's not really going to worry about it anytime soon. Mex is, of course, going offline while he's making his way to Makula's base. Zelby and Makula moving in to intercept. Zelby doesn't have gun. Makula has 2 star veterancy. Chicken working his way up to number 1. Decent amount of T2 tanks. There are, of course, counter T2 tanks online as well for Chicken. So, again, it is a Cybran v. A little bit UEF affair. Speaking of UEF, Janus over the top of the UEF air facility for Electrician. Burning it in holy fire, and that is not going to last that much longer. Nice grab by RNA. Is he going for T3? Not as of yet. He's staying with the Janus. Definitely is a trend with ladder matches to be a little bit more slow on the T3 upgrade at least, but you can see staying on the T2 is definitely worth it, and that facility leaves 20 hit points to be desired, but unfortunately it's not enough. And both the land facility and the air facility is knocked out. Of course, there's a backup headquarters up here on the front lines. There's a little bit of pushback here from Electrician just trying to help, but the damage is done. Headquarters is down. Mexes are down. Still, Rhinos are moving into intercept. It's just not a great day here for Team 2's air player of Electrician. Maybe we'll see somebody else on Team 2 go for air, but it's going to be a while before they do so. In the south, just a couple of units moving in just to annoy. A couple of nice little Medusa. Just, again, moving in, not really worried about too much. And the fire kind of misses for the most part, but it does actually hit its target, so no worries there. And then they're just burning the trees at this point. I thought only you could stop forest fires, but I guess not. A couple of more Janus going after, it looks like the Team 1 land facility. And there's a couple of mexes upgrading to T2, which that one gets denied. That facility will not survive, unfortunately, here for Zelby. So we'll have to rebuild one. That is the closest facility to the front lines here for him. His next one is back here. Maybe units can't pass there. Maybe not. We'll have to see. It looks like they can, but I could be mistaken. Still another outcropping of units here from Team 1's Chicken. Really keeping the pressure on here from Makula. He is not able to really push back into his old position in the middle. Of course, that is where Morrow has flown the coop. Team 1 has another air player started here for Chicken as well. And, of course, he has dual bases, so you might as well spend that mass while he has it. Zelby is producing the most mass in the game for a player at 179. That's due to all of these mexes upgrading to T2 as we speak. Or already upgraded, I should say. And the Electrician's like, yeah, I'm not happy with that base. So I'm going to go home. And, it's not showing a lot of danger as of yet, but it is, again, a isolated position. There's definitely one of those things where if you don't make the move now, you might not be able to make the move later. TML is not loaded. It's been firing missiles. It's not really been super focused down, but, doing a little bit of damage is better than nothing. Wakula takes a missile to the face. That's never a fun thing to do. Especially if it's a Billy Nuke missile, those things sting. Nano repair coming online here for Chicken. And really not a lot of upgrades here in this game. Attrition has no upgrades. Zelby has no upgrades. Makula has the only gun upgrade for Team 2. Chicken has stealth and gun. RNA has no upgrades. We did see Morrow have gun as well. So very sparse on the upgrades here for these players. It isn't super strange, but it's definitely rare to see half not have any upgrades. Even again, a 3v3 ladder, comm on comm action usually happens a lot. You see gun very early, being of course before 10 minutes. It looks like the focus has been a little bit more on air power as well as getting to T3 air. Apologies for Zelby. He just blitzed down that facility. And of course, he's sitting at 157, so that definitely makes sense. A couple of some T2 units tussle with some T1s and T2s, but it looks like they're outnumbered. And they'll put Team 1 on the defensive, especially down the middle here. And the attack on the base to the north has begun. Missile launchers trying to blitz down the nice little T2 mechs. That is not going to be long for this world. The missiles break off, which means they're more annoying to deal with, and those TMD are not going to last that much longer under the weight of all that missile fire. But again, there are a couple of pillars nearby, which will deal with those units easily. In the east, fire rains down, takes out the T3 Pigeon, and what has that done to Zelby's power reserves? Well, it hasn't knocked it out, but if he loses this grouping of T2 Pigeons, it's going to hurt. That is going to hurt. Oh, looks like the fire will be able to rain down on the shield emitter. We'll take that out. Nice grab there. It does allow for another volley or another wing or so of fighter bomber Janus to move in. Those Janus are being used very effectively. They've taken out 2 headquarters and now a T3 Pigeon. Of course, the power reserves for Zelby are perfectly fine for now. He's building a T3 Pigeon, so that'll fix what he's currently been using. But again, it is putting him on the defensive, not able to get out those ASF and other possibly T3 bombers that he really wants to. A couple of more Janus are inbound. I feel like dripping them in one by one is not really worth it. And it looks like they will grab, some east storages. It looks like they'll take out that T2 PD. T2 Pigeon, if I can speak correctly, and that last Janus does take out that secondary one. T3 Pigeon's back online though, so that pretty much would have bankrupted Zelby's power, but with that 2,500 per second, it's not really a huge issue here for him. Electrician's base is just slowly falling by the wayside. There are a couple of Mongeese online holding position, but again, it's just one of those things where how much effort do you put into a base that you know is going to get taken out here soon, especially with the comm. He doesn't know this, but Chicken moving in to assist. It's really not going to last that much longer. No backup T2 air or land facility is online, so once that facility goes down, there goes T2 land here for Electrician. Really needs to get that back online in his main base. T3 land, speaking which, is online for Zelby. He is really just throwing all of those upgrades together, getting those bricks, getting those loyalists, getting the ASF and possibly strap bombers online. I don't know if he'll go for strap bombers. I mean, Team 1 does have T3 air. They are producing still Janus. Team 1, of course, has a secondary air player of Chicken, and he is producing a couple of gunships, and there goes Chicken's commander, wiping out the rest of that base. There's, again, like I said, no real hope. That facility hasn't been repaired anytime soon. And Chicken wants that kill. He's going to take out the last PD or two and then focus down the facility and call it a day. We'll get up to 3 star veterancy because of this, and we'll take out also 12 mass a second from those 2 mexes hanging out there. Actually, well, technically 18, but 2 that I was pointing out. This game has quieted down just a little bit. Of course, it does look like Zelby's focusing a little bit more on military buildup. Another T3 Pigeon coming online. Definitely needs to get those online. And T3 Mex is upgrading too as we speak. So it's just one of those things where it just, the longer this game goes on, Zelby is looking very, very good. But Chicken as well looking pretty good as well, sitting at 230. Well, constantly up and down, but about 230 mass income. And a transport with a couple of bricks has landed on that upper plateau, seeking vengeance for those engineers dropped out by Electrician earlier on. 1 T1 PD is not going to be enough. There are a couple of Corsairs over here been stacking up, but again, those aren't going to be enough to at least prevent a lot of damage. 18 mass per second is going to be lost here for Chicken, and it will give Zelby the lead for most mass produced by 1 player at a time, or at the current moment, I should say. Now we see this game has kind of shifted more from a east to west. It's starting to shift almost to like a northwest versus southeast, with Zelby pushing in clockwise and Chicken pushing in clockwise on the northern side. And we do see, of course, more T3 Pigeons being built by RNA. Still producing Janus, because he's like, why not? If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And those bricks have eliminated everything on that plateau. Like I said, that's 24 mass a second in total that Chicken is losing. And now we see Chicken is pushing in. Team 1 sitting at 340 mass income. Team 2, 435. Is that really the... Yeah, that is the actual mass being produced. Oh, well... Yeah, it's the actual mass being produced. I feel like he was producing a lot more than that, but maybe not. Chicken, of course, pushing in with his self and a couple of bricks as well. So he has T3 land online. A couple of exterior mexes being deleted off the map. Couple more PD being built up there, but that's not going to stop this army. Lots of Team 1 spam. A decent amount of mongoose, but again, they are very, very weak to the everything. They get shot if the wind blows on them a little bit hard. They'll fall down and die. So has to be very careful. Keep those behind those tankier units of the pillars, the titans, the Perseus, that sort of thing. Or even just put shields around them, and that also helps as well. You could also do that. We do see Zelby is making a play right through the middle of the wall section. A couple of PD have been built. I think it's... there are a decent amount of rhinos. I don't know. I would wish that there's be a couple of Team 1 PD in this mix. One triad is down. It might be enough to break through. There won't be that many forces remaining, though. And a couple of Team 1 bombers inbound for a nice little T... No. Oh, they will grab it. Okay, I was going to say. And they will grab that T2 max. No, they don't. 100 mass remaining on that one. And Major Land Army continuing to engage. Chicken moving in to assist. Makula moving in to assist as well. Looks like it's, again, mainly Team 1 forces with a couple of T2s and T3 from Zelby. We have Chicken over here. He has Overcharge. He has 4-star veterancy on board. Overcharge insta-kills that brick. There is no chance for that thing to respawn. And Team 2 can see Team 1's Chicken just because he does not have cloaking on board. Couple more bricks and the comm of Makula's in range. Whaler online. Does he have the adequate AA to defend himself? And it does look like he has some, but he could be taken out just because he pushed too far forward. T3 Percy online, though, for Electrician, so he spammed T3 land tech very, very quickly. And Makula, again, is suffering in the hit point department, but he is at 5-star veterancy and 108 hit points a second regen. Not as good as the Seraphim, but decent nonetheless. Percy does get one shot in, but gets wiped off the floor anyways. I mean, those Perseus are very strong, I will admit, but one-on-one engagements with the comm, I would not recommend. Would not recommend. Does look like the air grid isn't going to be expanded upon as well due to the fact that he's focusing on a monkey, that's Zelby. Team 2 isn't really focusing on air. T3 Mass Extractor is vulnerable. A couple of bricks try to move in and assist. At least deal with the forces here from Chicken. But Chicken, look at this. He is technically almost in Team 2's base and not leaving. Makula tries to push him with his comm. Bricks are like, okay, we need a kill. It's 3v2. It's been that way for a while. Makula does get out of range just due to all the forces throwing themselves at Chicken's forces to give his comm some buffer. T3 Max does not get taken out, but it does lose 9 mass a second due to the mass storages going down. And Chicken, again, is not giving up. 18,000 mass and climbing on board that commander that he's killed, that he has killed, not that he has killed a commander. Team 1 builds the first experimental, and it is Chicken's monkey. So again, Chicken, who I always talk about how he just should play Seraphim so he can produce chickens, doesn't produce a chicken, he produces a monkey. I'm gonna say Chicken, even though there are no Seraphim in this game. I know I am, just because his name is Chicken, and I say it so many times when I cast him. And he is a good player. Just play Seraphim so I can say a chicken produced chickens. It makes sense. It's the way of nature. Couple of bricks just, again, trying to help Makula, being very... I wouldn't say super aggressive, but again, he's not looking super good. He doesn't have nano. He is at 4-star veterancy, though, so that is something to take into consideration, but he could easily be blitzed down. And Chicken goes, I don't like that, and he's going to retreat. Chicken's secondary weapons have been trained on the commander, at least they were for a moment. And that monkey is now inbound here for him. He's really losing a lot of ground here, and he might actually be the second casualty of Team 1's side of the map. And that monkey will catch up to him sooner rather than later. The secondary fire has now hit the commander. Bricks are trying to slow down the monkey, but I don't think that monkey's going to be slowed down by anything but another monkey. Chicken has now been lasered, boops his own land unit, and there he goes. He pushed a little bit too far forward. Team 2 got him for it, and it is now a 3v1. It has turned from an annihilation to an assassination game here for Team 2. That's all they got to do. Kill off Team 1's remaining player, and it is the game. But, of course, RNA has all of the mass available to him on Team 1's side of the map. Couple of bricks, though, taking out T2 mexes. That's not helping the situation. Did you see a couple of broadswords moving in? There is that monkey. It does engage the other monkey. One monkey at 1-star veterancy, one monkey now at 1-star veterancy. And it's just due to the fact that it just took a lot of damage before it was engaged with that other experimental. So the first XP versus XP, Team 1 wins it, but of course Team 2 killed a comm with it, so I think they'll take the loss nonetheless. And of course the mass is on Team 2's side of the map anyways. An ASF fight does occur. T3 Continental Transport just hanging out on the ground down there. And that will be an air win. I wouldn't say air dominance as of yet. It's not over 50 ASFs more. It's only 26, so it's about half that. So air win, but not dominance by any means. Percy's being deployed to deal with the Monkey Lord here from RNA, built by Chicken. And Chicken actually going to get a decent engagement on these Percys. Percy will turn around, land one shot, and then die. It's almost up to 2-star veterancy, but that is essentially a nullified monkey. You do see a couple of bricks stacking up down here, and more of them all the time. Team 2 not engaging this front, really just focused on this northern midsection here, just due to the fact Team 1's put a lot of pressure down here. And up in the north, a couple of mexes being re-expanded too. And Team 2's electrician is in the water. Somebody was going to do it at some point in the game. It is not cowardly at all. It is a smart play. The other team can't easily see you if you're in the water, so it's just a very easy way to just hide for a while. Couple of mongoose, though. I would not recommend standing that close to a brick, even if you can fire that quickly, because it is not going to go well. And it does not kill off the brick. There are a couple of spearheads, though. Don't walk next to the, or trundle, I should say, next to the brick, because, again, you fire at stuff that's not moving, not at stuff that is moving. Well, it's a lot easier to hit stuff that is not moving. T3 land and T3 air has been dotted around, both in the Cybrid and, of course, the UEF tick. We could see a little bit of a focus on gunships, and all of the air scouts are outbound here from Zelby. If I can click on all of them before they get killed off. 34 and dropping. They're trying to get a readout on Team 1's side of the map. There is a couple of Team 1 AA emplacements, but nothing more than that. I do see a couple of flat cannons, but and it's just one of those scenarios where there's really not a lot of AA coverage, which, to be fair, the ASFs are compensating for that, but they can only do it for so much. Air grid expansion here for Zelby. Land expansion here for electrician, at least a little bit. Perimeter monitoring station is online. Very smart play, though. Putting it in the middle of his map, or middle of his base, which means he can see everything, not only for himself, but for his team. I mean, that's a huge chunk of the map. I'd say it is a smaller map, so quarter, I wouldn't say third. A third seems too much, but I think at least a quarter or so of the map seen at all times. I don't think it has Omni on board. Yeah, it's just radar, so you would have to have an Omni sensor placed next to it to really get the benefit of both. But having vision alone is better than nothing. One monkey versus two, but of course one monkey is in the yellow, so it's really 1.5 versus 1. Team 2 has actually all bricks, no Percys from the electrician being donated over. They're stacking up over here. That'd be a great addition to that little army there. Able to blitz down T4 targets very quickly, and then the bricks come in and wipe the rest of everything else out. Grab has been started here by Zelby. It's going to take a couple of minutes to build that, though, so nothing really concerning for Team 1 as of yet. But let me know down in the comments who you think is going to currently win this game. Of course, if you haven't done so already, please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you so very much for watching to halfway through the video, and hopefully you enjoy the rest of it. And, of course, as a reminder, Team 1 at 1 remaining player, that being RNA. Team 2 has everybody else remaining. Team 1 producing 470 mass per second. Team 2, 740 mass per second. Huge amount of mass discrepancy there. Let's say 250 mass, just to make it a rough estimate in my head. That is a lot of mass to be ahead. Of course, RNA is producing more mass than any single player as of right now. The numbers keep jumping back and forth. I don't know what his plan is. Looks like he's producing more ASF and a lot of spy planes to get to know what's on Team 2's side of it. We do see, again, Percy's assisting with the pushing in of other lanes here from Team 1. And it does look like Team 2 has been pushed back a little bit in the southeast as well. There are a couple of broadswords stacked up. Nothing really too threatening here for Team 2. But of course, just something to be aware of. Lots of mass, actually fabricators, not extractors, being built by Makula. That is definitely cascadable. And putting the suits there, I mean, you take out a decent chunk of power consumption from the adjacency, but it is a huge risk there. I do like the little whoop, 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 whoop kind of wave it's producing. Another couple of pieces of artillery. The monkeys do flee. Is Team 1 building any sort of other experiment? Nope, another monkey. I feel like a FAF boy would definitely be beneficial in just poking at all the defenses here for Team 2. It would focus Team 2 in producing more artillery, and then thereby, of course, funding stuff that they don't really need at the current moment. T2 Mex is going down due to spamming of spearheads to the northeast. Bricks pushing in to counteract the Percys, but the bricks are not going to win that fight, especially with the Percys stacking up as they do. There are two commanders right next to one another. Maybe Team 1 goes for Nuke. 34 minutes on the clock. We have not seen much out of RNA, and I know he's good at this game. I've casted him before. He's 1753 rated, so he definitely knows what he's doing. He's producing a crab. He just might be strangled by mass income at this point. Oh, and he is severely low on power. He needs to fix that first. That is a lot of power to be down. Brick lands, or even just walks all the way around the map, and we see a couple of bricks actually stacking up down here. Great play here by Team 2. Zelby just being very annoying. Gunship inbound. Transport is going to go down, which isn't, again, a huge issue, but it is a loss. E-storage is going down. That's not great. RAS is being built for RNA, so that might fix most of his power consumption. It looks like he has fixed it. He's going for shields. So that is definitely what is helping him to stay afloat in the power consumption now. He'll fix his mass income. Now it's not as bad. It's 780 to 620. It's still not great, but it's definitely better than 250. Now it's down to like 150. Large spamming of yellow throwing units here from Team 2. We have T3 artillery in the mobile department, T2 missile mobile. I think I said mobile missile launchers as well. So lots of yellow icons trailing around the map. We have a monkey online, crab soon to follow, and looks like an SMD almost done here for Zelby. Lots of Corsair stacking up. This could be a snipe attempt. But of course, RNA is going for shield and T3, so he'll have a little bit more hit points to protect himself with. And of course, he can use his comm like a T3 engineer, which is always nice to do, especially if you keep your comm in the base. I mean, those bricks are still stacked up there. Team 1 hasn't done much about it. It looks like the damage was done a while ago. Nothing really too threatening. There are engineers outbound to go for more mexes. But again, it's just going to be one of those. Bricks come out, take out the mexes. Either they get taken out, they go back in the water, and then the process repeats. You can see Team 2 now pushing out to the north. Electrician has reclaimed his old base position. There is a tiny little brick up there, so RNA is kind of taking a play out of Zelby's book. We do see a couple of bouncers, and, well, there was a banger, but there's no longer a banger up there. Unfortunate for Team 1. I did like the placement, though. Just a couple of AA units just to cover the northern edge and call it a day. I just don't know what Team 1 and Team 2's plan is. It is 37 minutes on the clock here. It could just come down to a one major land engagement, and then whoever wins that fight might win the game. I mean, that's kind of what it looks like. Lots of land units stacking up. Lots of T3 artillery, which will be very good, of course, for the bombardment side of things, but direct fire, not great. The monkeys will chew them, and crab will chew them apart. We do see some spy planes just hastily just circling over there just in case teleporting Mazer commanders happen. I mean, there are 2 Sirens on Team 2, so that is a possibility. One has nano, one has gun. That's it. Neither of them looking to probably just telemazer in. That could win the game, though. Just teleport in and call it a day. You could easily go after RNA. He doesn't have any not even PD online. No TMD. Oh, there's 1 TMD. But nothing much in the way of protection. Does have 1 shield, so yeah, not really able to defend himself quite easily. We do see the comm of Electrician, though, shielded quite heavily with T2 parashields and T3 Cougars, making sure he is not sniped anytime soon and just trying to make it back to base. Being very cautious of that, very defensive. I do love that. He wants to make it back home, and he will make it back home. I mean, at this point, Team 2 can see everything that's going on in that circle, so unless there's just an immediate stealthing in of units, he'll be perfectly fine. Couple of bricks land on the upper plateau and take out what's up here, but still, they don't really have nothing left to shoot at. They really need to stand on the edge, and a couple of Corsairs go, hey, that's mean, don't do that. And they wipe out one of the bricks. ASF, looks like that was a bait move, and Zelby knows it. 123 versus RNA's 84, so Team 2 is in the lead for air control. Not dominance territory, but pretty close. Corsairs, it's a little bit too close. RNA knows if he engages, that is a not good thing here for air power. He needs to keep it, especially being down. Of course, there's a crab and 2 monkeys sitting there. Team 2 has 1 crab, 1 monkey. So just by numbers, Team 1 would win that fight, but there's a lot of T3 bricks. A couple more over here. Where'd all the Perseus go? They went north, it looks like. And there is a nuke online, just finished. Team 1 probably doesn't know about it. Team 1 does not know about it, which not great. If they don't have their own nuke, they do have an SMD. They have a satellite coming online, which is something, but I just don't know if that's going to be enough. They'll probably see the nuke and then go, oh no, and then go from there. Looks like the crab is going to push in. 1 monkey has decided to go north. The other one has just held position. Lots of bricks stacking up against Perseus, which, again, the bricks will win that fight, especially with there being that many of them. They will take significant losses. Krabs just does not care. He's pushing it all by his lonesome. There's no real concern for him. Mokula goes for the cloaking, not cloaking, but the teleporter laser combo most likely, because he's starting with the laser. It's the easier of the 2 to build. It doesn't consume as much power as the teleporter does. Man, that thing just eats power. T3 Mex is going down, and there goes the brick, because it was not going to last that much longer. Looks like AA tried to be built, but either gets denied or just says, nah, it's not really worth it at this point. Lots of bouncers running around. Crab goes, nah, it's not worth it. T2 shield online. Couple of missile launchers have loaded a couple of missiles, and it looks like Team 2 has had enough of the tomfoolery from Team 1 and has decided to push in at least to the middle. Teleporter has been started, and it's already at 25%. Laser is done. Man, he has a lot of power reserves. Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I was going to say, how does he have that much power and still has shields? But it's because he's was barely out by the time he stopped it. The bricks have broken through to the north. Corsairs and Team 1 bombers inbound some Scorchers. So we have Scorchers, and then we have Janus, and then we have... Ooh, shoot, what are the Strat Bombers called? I don't remember what they're called, but 2 of... Well, there's a Strat Bomber right here. That's a Renegade. They're all Renegades, aren't they? Oh, they're all stealth as well. Ooh, we could see a sniper attempt from Team 1. It might go after Makula. He's standing next to a very volatile structure and a couple of mass fabs as well. That whole grid is probably going to go up in flames if he's not careful. Now we see 1 lonely little brick surrounded by a bunch of other bricks and rhinos. And no AA, surprisingly enough. The AA's up there, those bouncers. Spy planes are outbound just to see what they can see. If they can see the comm of Team 1's Makula standing next to a nuke, they're going to go for that strap bomber most likely. Will they see it? Yes, they will. They can see it on the map. It gets pinged. Hey, there's stuff there. Don't know why he pinged there. And it's just not going well. Looks like Team 2 has spotted the laser and goes, okay, this is annoying. Nuke is being heavily assisted. It is going to take a minute or two to finish it. This is going to come down to, can Team 1 knock out the nuke, give them a little bit more breathing room with that, and then maybe go after Zelby. Because Electrician is over here as well. He's not a huge threat. He's annoying for Team 1 at a minimum, but he isn't the big threat of the air power for Zelby and the nuke for Makula. Lots of gunships as well stacking up with those. Oh, they're still over there. Just don't get what RNA's doing. He has a little over a squadron of bombers just not wanting to engage. Maybe he's going to take out AA. He's trying to take out the shields, but one is not going to be enough, and they're being assisted constantly. It looks like the nuke did take some damage, though, so that is something. The best idea would be, I mean, how's the AA lined up here for Makula? I mean, it best to be coming kind of like a straight shot from the western side. Just go straight in. Bombers will take losses. If you can get the ASF engaged, that could be the move. Problem is that if the ASFs are engaged, then that probably is your air power. And there's more AA down there. Not a lot of AA from the north, though. Of course, there is AA protecting the north as well. So it's just one of those situations where what is the best vector? If you're going south, that is not the best vector. You're going to get shot down before you even make it there. There are a lot of ASFs for RNA, though. 141 versus Zelby's 186, so about 40 or so more. It's gearing up for a fight. He's going this way. He's going to get spotted. There's a nuke down here, though. So that might be his target. He'll take out that nuke for sure, but he's going to lose enough bombers, and it's not going to be able to make it to that northern side. ASF fight will occur. Great engagement here by Team 2. Zelby gets in from behind that little grouping as the group of ASF turn. Nuke is outbound. Where is it going? It's going to this base. Is there an SMD loaded? Yes, there is. So that's going to be a nuke that is shot down. Lots of skirmishes. Team 2 still in the lead for ASF count. There was a decent amount of AA underneath. 2 crabs, 2 monkeys, 1 crab, 1 monkey. Shields are down. I repeat, shields are down. Looks like Makula had some power issues for a moment. Gets it back online just barely. Saves his nuke launcher. Strat bombers do take out the nuke launcher down here, but like I said, that was pretty much a one-way trip there. We're not getting out of Dodge anytime soon. The threat from Zelby is taken out, but not from Makula, and his nuke launched at an SMD that was loaded, so nothing really worrisome there. Now we see RNA going for artillery. I mean, the guy has 2 crabs, 2 monkeys, and a bunch of other T3 support. He could just full steam ahead, but there are a lot of bricks. Wow, that is a brick wall if I've ever seen one. Look at this thing. Dang, that is a wall. He's gonna build the wall. That might be the video. But Makula defeated by RNA. What happened? Oh, he got sniped? I'm definitely gonna have. That was the wrong moment to go look at something. Do apologize for that, but looks like missiles were inbound. Yeah, there were tactical missiles. They were all loaded, so they didn't fire. There wasn't a lot of PD here, so what killed Makula? Very weird. Shields look like they're down here for RNA. Trying to make sure that Team 2 doesn't know what's going on that side of the map. Looks like T2 artillery over here, but that's Gunther's firing. Not Gunther's. Klinkhammer's firing at this position up here. There's really nothing up here that would warrant him dying. So I'm very interested to see what happened. I probably will clip it at the end of the video. I'm going to run through, and when I say I'll see you in the next one, or right before I say that, I'll cut the little clip in of him teleporting in, because that's very strange that he would teleport there and then immediately die. So I don't know what the idea was with that, but we'll have to just wait and see. Pigeon gets taken out. There are some shields that are kind of suffering. Definitely needs some more shields right here and right here, because that grid could easily be taken out. I feel like, well, I mean, I guess the mass fabricator is less hit points than the nuke. Is that nuke being rebuilt down there? No, it is not. No one's engaging. It's just the battle of who can build a bigger army and just kind of showcase it. Nice little formation there with the monkeys in the middle. Artillery is almost online. RNA has artillery and satellite. Nuke is exposed. I repeat, nuke is exposed. Emitter is down, and the nuke is down. Pigeon goes down. Mass fabricator goes down. Engineers hastily... Actually, looks like those are hives trying to help. That would be the next target right there, that mass fab. That goes down. Everything else goes down. Pigeons are going to be reclaimed. No, they're not. And the soothsayer goes down. Nice grab there. And that knocks out a little bit of Zelby's power and mass, but he's actually almost filled with his mass bar, to be fair. He's got to spend it. With the death of Makula, he's just producing so much more mass. Another crab is online. There he goes. 49 minutes. He's got to sink it into something. And that is a scat that's coming online for Team 2. But is it going to be enough? It's the battle of will you just sit there and take shots before you engage with a land force. There are 2 crabs and 1 monkey and a lot of bricks. Looks like the artillery is after the air grid. That's what my goal would be, is to take out the power. To be fair, like I said, Zelby has plenty of power. He is producing a Scathus, to be fair, so without that, I think his power consumption is perfectly fine. The satellite is taking out the AA emplacements. Very interesting. I don't really know what the strategy is with that. We'll just have to see. All the ASFs go, stop it. And it does look like the Scathus has been spotted. That is, of course, going to be the target of that artillery piece. Second satellite is online. And it's really going to put the pressure on Team 2 to really just engage. Either you move in with the hordes of ASF that he has. 234. Doesn't have much of anything else. Has 17 Corsairs that might take out a satellite or an artillery, but not both. Granted, the shielding on that's not great, so maybe both. It just puts Team... Oh, look at this. The artillery is taking out the bricks. Oh, that is not something you see every day. Oh, that's another grab. Look at the just chunks of units missing. That's another chunk. Satellites, of course, focusing. Looks like the shield grid. I don't even know what they're... Oh, there we go. They're shooting at the emitters, yeah. It's not shooting at the Scathus, which is, to be fair, already at... What, almost 50%? Yeah, almost 50%. Looks like now the artillery is focusing on another thing. It looks like he just wanted to weaken the land units a little bit. There is a group of units to the north here from Electrician, but again, it's just not really a lot going on up here. Still don't know why he died. We'll definitely have to investigate once that happens, once the match is over, I should say. Finish, then detonate everything, says Electrician. Or I finish that, then detonate everything. And it looks like the crab and monkeys are slowly moving in. I mean, this has been 20 minutes in the making. Scathus is now over the hump at 50% and climbing. Pigeons are going to go down. Emitters are down. That Omni is going to go down. That's not going to be a good thing. Oh, are they going to get the... Yeah, they get the reclaim order off. Nice. Take out the Omni. Take out the Omni. That's Team 2's only Omni over here. There is an SMD. Team 1 doesn't have a nuke, so there's nothing to worry about on that front. Is there a nuke down here again? No, there's not. Is there any big ticket item anywhere else? There's a satellite being built here by an electrician. That'll help out a little bit. Put a little bit of pressure on RNA to build more shields. Second artillery is online. That's not looking good. And looks like just the chunk mass. Sorry, that's a pigeon. Looks like a mass fab a little bit. Shield is about to collapse. More engineers coming in. Pigeon lands, takes out an air facility. Not pigeon, sorry. Artillery lands on the pigeon, takes out an air facility. Emitters are down, just slowly but surely. Shield is down. Scathis is being hit. Needs to build more shielding immediately. Get those T3 engineers working on some more shielding. And it looks like the land engagement will just never happen at this rate. Very kind of anticlimactic at this point. I was very disappointed. And they're going to build another T3 shielding, but it's just not going to be enough. There are 2 artillery pieces firing. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 3rd one built here shortly, especially right there. At this point, I'm going to speed things up because it's just not really going to work out here probably for Team 2. I think Team 2 waited too long, I think was the problem. Emitters going down. Pigeons are going down. Shielding tried to be built to assist, but just got denied. But does get built in time. It is a T2, but it's barely out of range of that Scathis. Another emitter is down. Another T2 shield is online. And Zelby control case, seeing the end of the game, he's like, I can't. It's not going to be enough. SMD goes down. And Team 1's RNA, who was facing an uphill battle of a 3v1, might pull it out. Of course, Electrician is still alive. It is a blue versus red affair, being Stitch Blue and Ruby Red. And yeah, that Scathis is gone, unfortunately. And there goes the Electrician. He's like, that's it. That's the game. 54 minutes, 39 seconds on the clock. Team 1 wins the game. And no land engagement from either team. And I do understand the reason why. Because let's say, for example, RNA attacks with those 2 crabs and the 2 monkeys and all that T3 support, and Team 2 survives. That's a lot of mass that they probably would have put towards that Scathis sooner. And then the verse would be true, where if Team 2 attacked and they didn't win the engagement, then that's a lot of mass that Team 1 has. So it's just very difficult when both teams essentially build a shield strong enough that they won't get hit, but they can't build they don't have a sword to attack with. So it's essentially all defense, no offense. And if you turn a sword into a shield, a shield into a sword, it might not work out. But thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. RNA gets, of course, the MVP award. He caused his opponents to vacate the scene. He won the game. It was a war of attrition, and Team 2 was like, I'm done. I'm over it. Move on to the next game. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, of course, let's go zoom over to where Makula teleported in. We'll see exactly what happened with him. And, again, thank you so much for watching to pretty much the very end of the video, and I'll see you in a short moment. So we are back to where Makula is teleporting in to that location where he ends up dying. Currently, there is nothing here that would really warrant his death. There's no offensive structures, only defensive, so we'll see what ends up happening to him. So he teleports in. There he goes. Looks like there were gunships moving in. RNA saw Makula, and he dies by gunship. He only gets to about halfway to getting out of there, and there he goes. I just guess I didn't see the gunships fly in when I was looking at those bricks. So that's how he ends up dying, and there also were missiles outbound just to help with that as well. But again, thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I just wanted to make sure that I knew and everybody else watching knew how Makula died, just because it was kind of strange that there was really nothing there, and then that was it. But again, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it, and I'll see all of you in the next one.